outfield is actually probably our deepest outfield that we've had, and it's going to be the most competition that we've had in the last probably 4 years. It's led by Becca Bliss, who was a starter in right field last year, but she's kind of transitioned over to center field and has really taken on that leadership role, which has helped the younger kids, because we have quite a few freshmen out there, and it's going to be a battle. And I think that at any point during the season, all of them can start, and we have 6, sometimes 7 out there. So that says a lot about the depth that we have in the outfield. It's nice to have a little bit of experience going into the infield. They're veterans. They've played together for the last couple years. Carly's kind of that catalyst behind our infield. She's that leader, the vocal leader, the hard worker. She dives, whether it's practice, games, she's all over the place. And it's just nice to have somebody set the tone like that when you're playing games or practice. And you go around the infield and you talk about Krista at third and Leash at short and Carly at second, and then you get to first base, and it's going to be another battle. Right now we have 3 people that are very capable, between Alexa Morales, Melissa Masters, who's a freshman, and Brittany Hendrickson is kind of thrown in the mix because she's one of the most athletic and versatile kids that we have. And out of all 3 of them, they both have probably the strongest bats on the team. So it's nice to have that problem and have to make my job a little bit more difficult in deciding who's going to be the starter at that position. And the great thing is we have a new addition to our team, mid-year transfer from Texas Tech, Lauren Bliss, who will fill in for an injured Kayla Nori, which is a huge loss for us, but she stepped right in and done a great job making the transition and slowly becoming more comfortable and a little bit more of a leader on the field. So it's really nice to have somebody like that. Anna obviously is always going to be the go-to, the leader. She's been that solid person for the last 3 years, and I don't foresee this year being any different. Her expectations of herself are probably higher than anybody could expect, and she's been a little bit more vocal this year, and it's nice to kind of see her come out of her shell and help our relatively young pitching staff. We have a sophomore returning in Rhea Johnson, who helped share the load last year, and and then we have 2 freshmen, Melissa Masters and Karen Wright, who through the course of the last couple months you've seen improve tremendously. And it's nice to have that depth to take a little bit of pressure, 1 off of Anna and 2 off of Rhea, because it was the 1-2 punch, and if they continue to stay relaxed and focused, I think that we will exceed everybody's expectations, and we'll have a pretty solid 1 through 4 pitching staff. In the past, we've had a little bit more speed. You have Jenna Crow in your lineup, and that's almost a for sure person to get on base almost every single time, and you take her away, and most people would think losing her and then Carmen Holiday would be a huge hole in our lineup and hard to fill. But this year it's a little bit different of a lineup. We're definitely more of a powerful lineup. Kids hit the ball hard. We give up a little bit of speed for some power offensively, so I think we're gonna see a little bit more run production. Hopefully they're have a little more experience under their belt. Looking for Britt Hendrickson to kind of step up and continue what she started at the end of the last season, and then a couple freshmen have stepped in and are doing a nice job. And then of course Carly and Alicia and Krista have always been solid throughout the middle of our lineup. So definitely going to see a little more long ball as opposed to a short, quick game that's typical for softball. Moving into the Big Sky is exciting because it's the first year for softball, even though we have some familiar opponents with the Idaho State and Weber State, Northern Colorado. And then sometimes, it's nice to have Sac State back into the mix with us because they are a really good, solid program for the last couple years. And then you add in 2 other programs, Southern Utah and North Dakota, who also have pretty strong programs. So it's going to be more of a battle this year than in the past as far as where we stand. And I tell our kids, you can't just show up and expect to win just because we're favored. Everybody's out to beat us, and they're going to play as hard as they can and show up every day. So they got to make sure that we show up every day. And part of making that happen is scheduling, a pretty tough schedule. We play a lot of top teams. We play Arizona State 4 times in a series, which we haven't done in the past. And, I think right now they're top 10. So, we definitely want to play the best. We want to see how we stack up against them. And this year is going to be a little bit different because I think, our kids go into those games this year expecting to win instead of just hoping that we win. And that's the difference. And you can tell by their attitudes and, their belief and confidence in themselves and also in the team as a whole. And, that's probably the biggest difference this year as opposed to, our hard schedules in the past.
Like 4 weeks of practicing. As soon as we get back from a month-long vacation and everything, like by the second week, like this week, we're all like, where's the games? Like, let's get going. So we get to the point where we're all just ready to hit some dirt and get on the field and play some real games, hit against pitchers that aren't our own. We're going to bring the bats this year compared to previous years. I think 1 through 17, you can't really put a lineup out there and just know, you can mix it up and have faith in everyone in there, and just a solid 1 through 9 lineup and a great group of people to work with. They all have fun together and just a competitive group of people. So.